All right, let's talk about the story that's got the whole internet in meltdown mode right now. Every timeline, every group chat, every conspiracy forum, all saying the same thing. Joe Rogan and Elon Musk just exposed Charlie Kirk's widow. But here's the thing. No one really knows what they supposedly exposed. It's all speculation, half quotes, and screenshots with question marks. Still, the way this rumor spread and the timing between Rogan's comments, Elon's tweet, and Erica Kirk's response has everyone convinced there's more going on behind the scenes. So today, we're breaking down how this all blew up, the context around Charlie and Erica Kirk, what Rogan actually said, how Elon accidentally poured gasoline on it, and why the internet can't look away. Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, was one of the most visible conservative activists of his generation. Massive following, TV appearances, a political machine built from scratch. Then, out of nowhere, his passing shook the movement. Supporters flooded social media with tributes. Critics mostly stayed quiet. It was a strange, heavy moment online. Erica Kirk, his wife, became the unexpected focus. She'd already been in the public eye as a speaker and podcast host, but now she was the face of the legacy Charlie left behind. Her first few posts after his death were calm, composed, grateful. No clickbait, no drama, just thank you for the prayers. But on social media, calmness doesn't always translate as authenticity. People started picking apart her tone. She's too polished. She's already planning a leadership move. It was the classic cycle. Tragedy turns into content, and content turns into theories. Fast forward a few weeks. Joe Rogan drops a new 3-hour episode. Just another long talk about media narratives, government control, the usual Rogan curiosity stuff. In the middle of it, he says something that sounded connected. There are stories out there where the official version just doesn't add up. Too many contradictions. Too many unanswered questions. He never said Charlie Kirk's name, but a fan clip cut that sentence, added a caption. He's talking about Charlie. Boom. Viral. People reposted it like crazy. Rogan knows something. Is he calling out the Kirks? The tone, the pause, the way he leaned forward. Everything looked intentional once you slowed it down to 0.25x speed. And because Rogan's audience loves to dig, Reddit threads exploded overnight. One top post literally read, "If Rogan's hinting at what I think he's hinting at, buckle up." That's all it took. One vague comment and a million interpretations. Now here's where it gets wild. Somebody tags Elon Musk under that viral clip with the caption, "Elon probably knows." And in classic Elon fashion, he replies, "The truth cannot be hidden forever." 6 words, no follow-up. Within an hour, Rogan Musk truth is trending. People start screenshotting the timestamps like detectives. Rogan's episode posted Monday night. Elon's tweet Tuesday morning. Perfect overlap. Coincidence? Maybe. But the internet doesn't do coincidence. Suddenly, everyone's convinced Rogan and Musk are trading coded messages about the same thing. Charlie's case, Erica's actions, maybe even something bigger. Creators on TikTok start lining up clips of Elon interviews next to Rogan's podcast, trying to sync eye movements like it's a secret signal. And the more absurd it gets, the faster it spreads. Reddit's on fire. TikTok's a circus. People are running full-blown digital investigations. Timelines, screenshots, slow-motion body language analysis. Some swear they can hear Rogan hesitate right before he changes the subject. Others claim Elon's truth tweet was actually about government transparency, but somehow got tied to the Kirk rumor by fans looking for drama. Still, engagement's engagement. When people smell mystery, they'll create meaning out of silence. And because neither Rogan nor Elon clarified anything, the silence became the proof. Then smaller YouTubers jumped in, explained videos, what they aren't telling you videos, thumbnails with red circles around Elon's face. Even mainstream blogs ran coverage, saying things like, social media theorists think Rogan and Musk are hinting at a scandal. The language is always the same. Think, speculate, suggest. It's not about evidence, it's about vibes. Meanwhile, Erica Kirk hadn't said a word publicly. Then, out of nowhere, she uploads a 6-minute video titled, "Enough." It's not flashy, just her sitting in front of a camera. Steady voice, looking straight down the lens. She never mentions Rogan or Musk. Not once. She just says, "My husband's work isn't ending. We're carrying it forward. His show, his mission, everything."
And you could almost feel the internet freeze. Her tone wasn't defensive, it was deliberate, calm, controlled. Supporters flooded the comments with messages like, "This is grace under pressure. She's handling it with class. Critics called it PR spin. But one thing was clear. Her video hit harder than any tweet. In less than 24 hours, it did 1 million views and flipped the sentiment online. Now people were saying, maybe she's the victim of a smear campaign. Others still thought Rogan must have known something, but the wave was shifting. That's when mainstream coverage kicked in. Headlines everywhere. Rogan sparks speculation after podcast comment. Elon Musk's cryptic tweet fans theories. TV segments rolled out body language experts to analyze Erica's composure during her statement. Talk shows debated whether calmness equals guilt or just maturity. It was wild. People were literally reading grief like a crime scene. Every photo from her Instagram became a clue. Every caption became a theory. And of course, the algorithms loved it. Meanwhile, Rogan didn't respond at all. No clarification, no joke, nothing. Elon stayed busy posting memes about AI and Mars, like none of this existed. And that silence only made people hungrier. Usually Rogan addresses controversies pretty quick. He'll bring them up on another episode, laugh it off, explain what he meant. Not this time. Weeks went by and nothing, which made the internet decide he was either avoiding the topic or confirming it through omission. Think about how backwards that logic is. If you talk, you're guilty. If you don't talk, you're definitely guilty. That's how internet narratives trap people. Some fans defended him, saying he was just talking generally about media distrust. Others insisted he knows more than he's letting on. Nobody could agree, but everyone kept talking. And that's the part Rogan probably didn't intend. Even silence becomes content now. A few weeks later, Erica posts a short clip. Not a statement, just a quote graphic that says, "There's no blueprint for grief." 8 words. That's it. But guess what? It trends again. Her supporters rally behind it, saying she's staying strong. Her critics pick it apart like a code. Is that aimed at Rogan? Is she shading the media? Even political commentators start covering it like it's a campaign slogan. She doesn't need to say names. She's already winning the attention war by saying less. It's like the internet's feeding frenzy burnt itself out, and the only person left calm in the middle was Erica. By the end of the week, We Stand With Erica trended for 2 straight days. And that's when people started realizing she might have outplayed the entire narrative. Analysts and creators started calling it the silent strategy. The idea is simple. In a digital storm, the loudest voice burns out first. The one who waits, who speaks once with timing and restraint, ends up owning the story. That's what Erica did. She didn't argue with Rogan fans, didn't clap back at Elon memes, didn't take interviews. She just let the noise collapse under its own weight. And that's the wild part. It actually worked. By the time she finally talked again, people wanted her side. She went from target to authority without ever raising her voice. Whether it was strategy or instinct, it completely flipped the script. Even some Rogan fans admitted, respect, she handled that perfectly. Let's be real. This whole saga says more about internet culture than it does about Rogan, Elon, or Erica. We live in a time where vagueness is entertainment. A half sentence becomes evidence. A tweet becomes a clue. And silence becomes the biggest plot twist of all. The Rogan, Elon, Erica triangle was the perfect storm. A controversial podcaster known for questioning everything. A billionaire who loves cryptic tweets. And a widow already under intense public scrutiny. You combine that with social media's obsession with hidden meaning, and you've got a viral bomb waiting to go off. Every time someone said, "This is getting weird," it just fed the cycle. Because the internet doesn't want resolution. It wants the chase. Let's rewind and give Rogan the benefit of context for a second. In the full version of that episode, the one most people didn't watch, he wasn't talking about the Kirks specifically. He was talking about how media narratives sometimes leave out details, and how that erodes public trust. He mentioned multiple unrelated stories that had weird inconsistencies. So yeah, it was vague, but it was probably general commentary, not a coded message. Once that 10-second clip was ripped and captioned out of context, the rest was pure imagination. Even Rogan's co-host in that episode later clarified on Twitter that it wasn't about anyone specific. But at that point, the rumor had already outrun the facts.
That's how fast misinformation travels. Truth can't catch up to virality. Same thing with Elon. The truth cannot be hidden tweet wasn't new. He's used that phrase before when talking about government transparency, AI ethics, even UFOs. But timing is everything. The moment that comment landed right after Rogan's clip went viral, people stitched the two together like it was a master plan. And Elon being Elon, he didn't clarify. He just liked a few random posts and kept tweeting memes. So whether he meant to or not, he ended up fueling the story. Not with facts, but with mystery. By the time the dust settled, this wasn't even about the Kirks anymore. It became a case study in how easily the internet builds a story out of silence. A chain reaction. One vague podcast line, one cryptic tweet, and 1,000 TikToks turning guesswork into gospel. Nobody lied, but everyone interpreted. And those interpretations became content, because that's the new economy. Not information,
but interpretation velocity. Whoever explains it first wins, even if they're wrong. So did Joe Rogan and Elon Musk actually expose Charlie Kirk's widow? No one knows, because there was never anything proven to expose. What they did expose, though, is how the internet works now. Fast, emotional, and allergic to silence. One pause, one tweet, one calm reply, and suddenly millions of us are playing detective on a story that never had evidence to begin with. Maybe that's the real shock here, because in 2025, it's not truth that breaks the internet, it's mystery. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, happy see you in the next one.